Welcome to Date Night Movie Critiques, where we go on movie dates.
So you can decide if it's worth your date.
Right now, a date isn't necessarily with your soulmate.
It could be with your child or friend.
Right, so we're talking about Batman vs. Superman today. We saw it yesterday and we are super excited. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I ignore the critiques and I just talk to my wife and see how she likes it and see how I liked it, and then we talk to you guys. First, let's talk about the plot. Were there any holes? Was it too slow? Well, the critiques would all agree that there are a lot of holes and it's way too slow, but we're not critiques. Critiquers. Critiques.
We don't critique movies. We pretty much like everything.
So, as far as holes go, I didn't see any holes in the plot. There were some unnecessary things, but we'll talk about those later. Did you see any holes?
Just the ones in the ground.
Oh, comical. Well, so unnecessary unnecessary scenes to the plots. Now, there was one scene with the Flash where, I don't know if he's coming from the future or the past. It really wasn't explained too well, and I assume this is a big setup for the following movies. It could have been left out, and Bruce Wayne would have suited up as Batman and gone and done his thing anyway. So, that's what I thought.
I just don't like it because I couldn't understand the Flash, and it was a little too flashy. Not flashy. The character just... There was a lot going on the scene because he was like coming from the future or something, and his suit, it was weird. It was just weird.
When Wonder Woman opened the email containing the 4 files with the metahuman data on Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, and herself, I didn't think that scene needed to be in there. It could have been worked in as a post-credits scene really well, actually. But in the movie, I didn't think that it needed to be there.
I really liked the scene, and I saw that I understand what my husband's saying in that it could be a post-credit, but it almost couldn't be because when she read that email and saw these files, it made her suit up and go help Batman and Superman fight this big bad guy. So I think it was in there, and I think it was necessary. And I liked the scene personally because it's her finding out what Lex Luthor and now Bruce Wayne know about her. And just Bruce's little quick one-liners in there were pretty comical too. Just, who are you? What are you? What's going on? What's your name? It was kind of funny and cute.
Showing he's a true detective. Okay. So the parademons also, I was thinking, did that need to be in here? Now, it's DC's trying to move along. They're trying to catch up to Marvel here and setting everything up. I don't know if I read somewhere that the Flash was implanting these memories, these dreams in Bruce Wayne's head. That's a bit of a stretch, if you ask me. The Flash is a pretty cool guy, but I don't think he can do anything like that.
I just thought it was that Superman had created these things, because the parademons really just show up in one of Bruce's dreams, where he's fighting like this army of men that now Superman has control of because they all have the S on their arm, and then these winged creatures flew in. So I just saw it as, oh, well, Superman made these winged things, or he brought them from another world to help him.
Okay.
So
I'd buy that.
I wasn't lost, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else would be.
Okay. All right. Other complaints from critics about the plot would be, did it move fast enough? Well, most of them say it's boring, it's really slow. Well, the first third was maybe a little slow, but it's all a slow build into that big action scene where you see Batman and Superman duke it out, which is a little short, and then the Doomsday scene, which is a little long, we thought.
I was engaged the whole time. I didn't get bored. To me, if a movie's moving slow, that means I'm getting bored. I'm not following the plot. It's dragged out. I didn't think it was. It was really neat seeing the perspective, because in Man of Steel you see the fight with Zod from Superman's point of view mostly. You're seeing him fight Zod, and yes, buildings are falling, but you're not seeing the destruction that's going on down below. Whereas from Batman or Bruce Wayne's point of view, you are seeing it. It's almost like ground zero, I thought, with 9/11 or any type of terrorist attack or any big event. There was rubble. People are trapped. People don't know what to do. Wayne Tower fell, and the little girl, he's like, "Where's your mom?" And she just points to the missing tower. And that really hits home. It helps you realize, yes, these heroes, they're saving the world, but there is a cost that goes with it.
So it made it more emotional for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I could feel that definitely. This is definitely a more emotional film than Man of Steel.
We're going to end our review today with talking about things that we loved about the movie and things that were unloved about the movie. We both really loved the different camera angles that were seen in the movie. There was a lot of wide camera angles. You saw a lot of the movie at one time. And then there were some very specific narrow points where you saw a very specific item. Pearls, an eye, a door. And those really drew out the importance of those events. Probably the best scene, I would say, film-wise, from an artist film perspective, was when Martha Wayne was shot, because her pearl necklace gets pulled out by the gun, and it's focused on these pearls, and then the gun shoots and the pearls snap.
The contrast between the brutality and the elegance of the pearls is just unbelievable. I got tingles during that scene. A lot of scenes in this movie, but that scene particularly was phenomenal.
And another really focal point was the courthouse scene where Superman goes to talk in the United States courthouse, and he just pushes the door to get into the courthouse area, and it focuses on that movement of him just gently pushing this door, and it shows he's a gentle giant.
Right, it really outlines that he's here to talk and be peaceful, and he really just wants the goodness of mankind. The filmography as a whole in this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. It just sucked you in. Everything was great about that. Another point that I loved in particular was the Batman fight scene. Now, all of them were really good, but the one where he comes to save Martha, you know the one. Oh man, it was fantastic. I seriously just about cried. I mean, it was so close. When he finally gets into the room with Martha, I'm like, oh man, he did it! It was awesome. But maybe I'm just geeking out here. I mean, it was a blast.
I really liked the Batman versus Superman fight scene. Probably because it was short and there weren't a lot of loud noises. Because it was just fist against fist and it wasn't explosions and guns. But I really liked. It was fun because Batman would get Superman with the kryptonite, and so he would be a little weak. So Batman could get a few punches, then Superman would all of a sudden get his strength back, and Batman would try and punch him, and it was like, oh no, nothing's happening. So Superman would just annihilate him, and it was funny.
Okay, that was a good part. I particularly enjoyed the entrance of Wonder Woman, but more specifically, it made me realize even more that the score, Hans Zimmer's score in this, is phenomenal. It is one of the best, if not the best, superhero scores I've ever heard. It gave everybody a theme. Batman was iconic and maybe a little slow and marching, kind of like Superman or Batman is getting. And Superman's is the same for Man of Steel, I believe, where it's kind of heroic. It's typical, kind of what you'd expect from a superhero movie. And Lex Luthor's is, chilling.
So probably one of the best moments in the theater for us was during this really serious scene. A mom had to take her little girl out probably to go to the bathroom. And she did the Miss America wave to everybody in the audience, and it was pretty much adorable. So if you go and see it in theaters, I hope you have an adorable moment like that as well.
She was great. Well, let's move on to the parts that were a little unloved. Near the end, Lois grabs the spear of kryptonite and she throws it into this pool. And I'm thinking, why is she doing that? I think Lois Lane brought that home and put it in a lockbox and then, threatened Superman with it if they ever got in any dispute, stuff like that. The Flash scene. That was another scene. I did not dig that at all. And I think Andrew would agree.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, how
you can barely
like it.
Maybe it was because the theater was too loud, but you can barely understand him. and he's got this weird mech suit on. So you're like, wait, is this the Flash? I only know he's the Flash because I looked on IMDb. I'm like, who is this dude? Who is this weird looking Flash that's not Grant Gustin? Well, okay, I guess that's the Flash then. Why is he wearing this? He looks like Iron Man. He actually did. I didn't realize that. He looked like Iron Man. But that was definitely unloved.
Another unloved moment that just, made both of us cringe in our seats was anytime, and I think you'll all agree, anytime somebody with shoes and socks on got in water.
Oh, it happened.
What's up with that?
Yeah, it happened 3-4 times maybe.
Didn't like it.
Chafing galore. All kidding aside, though, let's move on to our grading system, or our grades we're given for this movie. Now, I thought it was quite good, despite critics out there. I enjoyed it a lot. There were dozens of scenes where I was just like, oh, that was cool. So I'm giving it a B, and I definitely think you should go see it and see it for yourself.
I really liked the movie. Like I said earlier, I love Batman. I also love Superman too, but I grew up watching the Batman cartoons and near and dear to my heart. And I was super excited to finally have Batman and Superman and kind of have them at odds because it's sort of a little pet project in my head that I always had. So it was fun to see that on the big screen. But they became friends, so that was good. There were things that we didn't like about it. Unloved, again, not hated, but so I'm gonna give it a B-. I definitely want to see it again. Probably will buy it because it was really good too. But it's not gonna be up there with, for me, Sound of Music.
You and your Sound of Music.
I'm sorry.
And your musicals. Well, that'll about do it for our Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, the movie review. We're the Date Night Movie Critics.
So, go and see the movie, or don't, and let us know what you think.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and we are live. In 3, 2, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this... It was like, everybody's watching me.
So when do I come? When you
Batman.